Well, ladies, a little trip on feeding the cattle, and then hopefully burn out, get some corn planted, finish up the last two fields, and we are going to be looking at getting the mower and everything ready to go on this then. I do one TMR mix per barn, so one in the monoslope for the dry cows, pregnant cows, young cows that are on full feed now, and one into the tie stall where we're milking. So I end up running about 2 1/4, 2 1/2 usually silage buckets in here. And as you can see, I'm definitely going to need to get some haylage put up this summer, which is all good. Got that all planned out, ready to go. We'll be filling up the big silo with haylage, about out of the high moisture corn in the small silo, so I'll have to start grinding some corn for the cows. Grind about, we'll end up grinding a mixer load, and I try not to leave it in the mixer as much as possible because it cakes up, but I'll grind a mixer load and I can put it on the ground somewhere and just put it in the TMR mixer with the bucket then, which ends up working out really well since that stuff cakes up pretty good. And then I got my molasses and we're golden. Gotta bring my numbers back up. Too much, Ricky, too much. Get this full again so when I come back over here she's ready to roll. Bingo. That's why I love that tractor. She's balanced really good with that big bucket on, the extra rear weights. I don't need anything on the 3-point then. And then on top of it, able to just take the bucket or forks off. Oh shoot, I need a hay bale. Dang it. You girls got me all flustered here, don't know which way I'm going. But anyways, I'm able to utilize that tractor a lot, and that's what I like the most about it. So we'll grab some high moisture corn out of this silo. I put about 10% in. And then run about 8% molasses. Molasses is what I've been using the crap out of, but the cows seem to really like it. It's like sugar to them. It binds the feed together, gives them some moisture and whatnot, so it works out really well for the cows' liking. Keep them happy, right? Produce more milk, maybe? And then this transmission, I got the ranges, so 1 through 4, and then I got 4 gears in each range. It's all right there on that one joystick, shifter wise and everything, and real easy to maintain, especially with the forward reverse up on the steering wheel. You're not really too concerned about the clutch on this tractor. She does really well with the power shift, quad shift, power shift, however you want to put it. It's partial power shift actually, but yeah. So I have these bales stacked here. Don't think they're really going to get damaged by the weather too bad, especially this summer. They might get wet, but that just adds a little moisture in, right? This one's easy. Swing right around and go right after the bunk here. It's the tie stall that gets a little more difficult. I kind of got to back it in there and whatnot. But you ladies seen the first TMR mix, so I'm just going to repeat that and bring you back when we go and do corn. Pretty much, ladies, that's my morning and night. Make sure the cows got food, make sure they're doing good, walk through. In the early mornings, I do get up and go milking. I'll kind of walk in here for you a little bit again. Bring them in, get them milked. They got their entire pasture, so they don't always come in quite a lot, but I guess we got some manure to haul once I get the triticale off before I go chisel plowing that. I want to incorporate that really good, so that way when I put the beans in, they're not just rooted right into a cow pie. But fire up this tractor and let her warm up here. Do some double checking on the planter, make sure I got everything ready to go. I refilled it, put the box lids back on, and we are golden. Ready to set away. Oh man, I just love the narrow front. You can whip this thing right around. So I gotta go get my 2 fields that are down towards the end on the east side of my farm here. Can barely see that marker anymore. And then I got 2 fields just over the, yeah, the 2 little strips just over the hill there. It's a great little planter. 1206 has no problem pulling it. It's just, this is a narrow front tractor, so you gotta kind of be weary of that. Watch your hills. If you start to feel like you're going over, you definitely need to just crank it downhill, which, no big deal. It's pretty typical. The hills up here are not terrible. If we got on the other side of that tree line, it would be terrible. And the reason I'm planting into that hayfield there, I want to get this stripped out correctly. So I actually think I will be bringing some... I think I'll be bringing that hay down a little bit more, to tell you the truth. I thought we had something back here. I could be completely wrong. Thought there was a little strip. But I got to get this sectioned out to be the right width on my planter. And I'm kind of racing the rain right now. Oh, look at that. I only have one little strip back here to worry about. Sweet! See what happens when the rain hits? People ask what you do when the rain comes in. And you say, well, I'm a dairy farmer. I do anything but worry about the crops in the ground. Because I got a buttload of cows to deal with. See, like that little bit right there? Yeah, I could actually take another pass of hay out right there and have this thing work out perfect. So I'm just getting straight rows back. Now the worst part is, in order to get to that little strip of hay to my left, I do have to drive across the corn up there. So I will have a little bit of down corn, which is no big deal. Or I leave this end grass, and that way I don't have to trample over corn, which I'll probably end up doing this next year. And see, I'm a little wide here, narrow back there. I could take some of that out pretty easy. Yeah, we'll definitely be leaving this end grass. Then I don't have to deal with any trampled corn. This is why I like my narrow front. I'm going to say it over and over in the video. Nobody beats a narrow front. Oh, a little too far. It's a small tractor, so it's light. You got to kind of be mindful of the stopping power with the weight behind you, which the planter doesn't weigh all that much. But coming downhill and everything, that will force you right around. Neighbor's got some hills. It's contoured all out. I would love to be able to grab some of that ground someday. maybe not necessarily his farm down there, the actual farmyard, but some of these hills right here, being this close with that much hay on it, I could switch to mainly feeding the hay, and then the row crops will be rethinking that one through. I might want that barn down there. Ooh, upgrade. Get myself a nice freestall across the road. Put that up by the highway over there, and be able to milk a lot more. Who am I kidding? I'm going to need some extra help if I'm going to milk a lot more head. I'm on the verge of hitting 100 once these pregnant cows drop and start lactating. So definitely already on the verge of hiring somebody to do all my milking, and I just take care of the farm. Which, call me crazy for hiring somebody to do my milking, because that's, if they lose a bulk tank, I lose out of my paycheck. Beautiful. Damn it, can't see my marker with a shit. Pretty much just guesstimating. They said for 20 grand you could get a GPS system that does this for you. I'm like, for 20 grand I can buy another 1206. Why would I buy a whole GPS system? 6-row works just fine. I think I'm going to do a full end rows on this one, ladies. Just because the way the grass strip is, I'm not going to adjust it to fit the planter on this one. But if I just do some end rows and come into it, I think it'll work out pretty good. Put the marker down before I forget. It's not doing much help right now. I can't see it in this shit, but here we are. Still trucking along. The nice part about this is I'm able to do a couple strips on these bigger seed tanks without having to go back to the farm and refill. I'm able to bust out quite a few acres in a, I mean, obviously 8-row to 12-row, yeah, you're going to be way better off, but in this scenario, I'm able to bust out quite a few strips. Let's not say acres. You're still limited on acres to whatever your planter is, and we're not going crazy fast with this thing anyways. But before I have to go back to the farm to deal with the night milking and looking over the cows. So the less time I got to drive back to the farm and refill, the better. Here. I think it's going pretty dang smooth, which has me worried. Usually when it goes pretty dang smooth, something happens. And I'm thinking I should have probably put more than 2 end rows on this for chopping wise. I do not have a drum head, and I only got that 6-row header, so I kind of got to be mindful about that, but it's too late to put more end rows on. So that should be one of my first upgrades, is a drum head. Just be able to burn in here and do whatever I want. Because even 12 rows isn't quite enough to turn around the combine. That's why I kind of get picky on what strips I run the combine over. Just due to the fact it's a pain in the butt to get it in and around. The chopper's way easier, because it's just cutting the whole stalk instead of tipping it over the snout, and you watch the ear of corn just bounce around and go away. All the boxes look pretty good. Yep, we're just going to hammer out this last little field here. I didn't think I'd get this far today. Everything's rolling pretty good. 1206 is doing good. We're just gonna leave it at that. But got that backfield busted out, finished the last few passes there, and I just have this section, and then the corn is done this year. Very rare that we get all the corn in before we're chopping triticale, which takes a huge weight off my shoulders. Like I said, I'm going to be putting beans in over there. Double crop beans don't do that great, but it's a little bit of cash revenue for me, for my farm. Obviously, you got to wait a while before you get that cash revenue, but beans do really well in tough conditions. I won't worry about the beans coming up through all the grass clumps and holding and standing. They don't grow as tall, so I'm not worried as the wind blowing everything over. So, I mean, in my opinion, beans is the right thing to do after you take a cereal crop off like that, because you just got so much residue and it is going to get dry and crust. The beans will still come up. That's the main reason I do beans. As I get into probably doing more triticale, just to make sure I don't have to chop my grass in the middle of the summer, I will be putting corn in behind it, which corn has enough varieties that it probably won't produce a huge crazy big ear, but I could definitely go get a variety of corn that produces a taller stalk that works better for chopping. So it might delay my chopping a little bit, but at the same time, I'm hand in hand with which way to go. And then on top of that, I'll be able to sell some hay bales if it came down to it. I like to get a good third or fourth cut hay bales going to the sale barn in the winter. They usually bring a really good price, and you can't complain when you sell hay bales. Well, ladies, she started raining. I had one round left to do. Coming up on this last pass here, she just got done cutting loose. It wasn't enough at first to really even kick the dust, or settle the dust down, but that last little burst, I don't know. We'll see how well this last half pass will actually germinate. But corn is done and planted. Tires are muddy, which is never good. And I am out of here. I'm gonna park this thing in the shed, go in, eat lunch, because it's after lunch, have a late lunch, change my clothes, and get everything kind of tidied up on this and start working on my mower there, the disc vine, and make sure nothing has to get replaced or sharpened, and kind of go from there. This whole unit can sit and dry off for a while. It's not going to bother me at all. But we're in the shop and tidied up, so that's going to be the video. Thanks for watching, ladies. Until next time, deuces.